And in an update, as I always do to all the stories that are featured on the channel, to the Dagenham murder of an 18-year-old, the victim has been identified as Jordan Kukabu, and he was stabbed to death after police were called to reports of a group fighting with machetes at 10 to 12 on Friday the 5th of May. 3 males have been charged, and one of them is only 15 years old. The oldest is 20-year-old Michael M. Gagba from Essex, and he's been charged with murder, attempted murder and possession of an offensive weapon. They all appeared at Wimbledon Magistrates Court on the 12th of May. The 15-year-old was charged on the 10th of May with murder, attempted murder and also possession of an offensive weapon. Police were called to Dagenham Heath underground station to reports of the fight that occurred on the 5th of May, and thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the scene. Police officers and the ambulance service attended and found an 18-year-old male with stab wounds. Despite the best efforts of the emergency services, he died at the scene. The family were made aware, and a post-mortem examination on the 7th of May revealed the cause of death to be a single stab wound to the chest. A second male aged in his 20s was taken to hospital with a stab wound, and his condition was assessed as non-life-threatening. A 27-year-old male was arrested on the 9th of May in Suffolk on suspicion of assisting an offender and has been bailed pending further inquiries. So this case has escalated very fast, and we'll no longer be able to discuss it until after the trial. But rest in peace to Jordan, and my condolences to his family. In some other news, on the 5th of May, police were called to Mare Street in East London at approximately 10 past 11 at an address, a residential address, following reports that a male has been stabbed. Paramedics arrived and the London Air Ambulance also attended, and on arrival they found a male in his late 20s with stab wounds, and despite their best efforts he died at the scene. 2 men aged in their 40s and a female in her 50s were also arrested at the scene on suspicion of murder in connection with the incident. They were taken to East London police stations where they remain up until this point. Thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the scene that shows the police cordon outside what appears to be a block of flats. We have no identity of the victim as of yet, but I'll definitely keep you updated on any charges and the identity of the victim when it is appropriate. And this other story that follows on the 7th of May occurred in Soho on Old Compton Street. It was the early hours of the morning at 20 to 3. A male aged in his 50s was taken to hospital with serious injuries, but these are not believed to be life-threatening. One person has been arrested, but it is not known of the injuries that occurred, if they are head injuries or if they used a weapon during this fight. It was outside Bar Soho and near to Dodo Foods. So thankfully that male is not in a life-threatening condition and makes a full recovery, but I will definitely update you if that situation changes. The day after, on the 8th of May, 2 people were shot, aged 66 and a 21-year-old were hospitalised on Campbell Road. This is in the Bow E3 area. Police launched an investigation after they received calls at 9 o'clock on Sunday the 7th of May from a member of the public that a firearm had been discharged in Swayton Road. Police attended and found a 21-year-old male and 66-year-old male with gunshot wounds. They were taken to hospital where their condition was assessed as not life-threatening. Initial inquiries have revealed that the victims were sat in a vehicle when they were shot at by a suspect who fled the scene in a Skoda Octavia, travelling down Campbell Road, E3. The whole street was cordoned off and a BMW was seen inside the cordon, and there was a lot of activity by the police. Part of a park was also cordoned off at the time, which shows how close it would have been to potentially children playing, similar to a story that I covered recently in Wolverhampton, where 2 kids were shot in a playground when they were caught in the crossfire between other people. Thankfully, nobody else was injured in this story, and both of these men should make a full recovery. And in this next story, in the Lewisham area on the 10th of May at 10 to 2 in the afternoon, a male was found in a car with stab wounds. This was in the Ladywell area, and police attended along with the ambulance service and also the air ambulance, and despite their best efforts, a 29-year-old male died at the scene, and the police have launched a murder investigation. Thank you to our friends at UK News in Pictures for their drone coverage from the scene as well, which shows a tent erected in the street and police officers on the cordon. The victim is yet to be identified, but I want to send my condolences to his friends and family, and I'll definitely keep you updated on any charges and the trial that goes on from this case. And in this most recent story that took place on the 11th of May and took place in southwest London, police were called at 8:15 on Thursday the 11th of May to reports that a car had collided with a motorcycle in Liam Court Road, southwest 16. Officers attended, and so did the London Ambulance Service, and at the scene they found a male motorcyclist aged in his 40s that had been involved in a collision and sustained serious injuries. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police know his identity and have informed his next of kin. The police believe that the vehicle that crashed into the bike had 3 other people inside, and they fled the scene on foot. No arrests have been made as of yet, and I'll definitely keep you updated with that story. So really appreciate you joining me for these updates, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and follow on social media and scarcitystudios.com for the latest updates.